G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life, and long-time viewers of the channel will recognise this E30 318is. I reviewed it nearly 2 years ago now when it had a naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine making right around 100 kilowatt. But with all of the handling modifications and a manual transmission, it definitely helped me to understand why people love these E30s so much. But the owner decided that 100 kilowatt was not enough for him, and so installed a supercharger. And today we're here to see what difference that makes. The engine started out as an M42 B18, a 1.8 litre double cam 4-cylinder engine. Naturally, in BMW fashion, it goes through a 5-speed manual to the rear wheels with a limited slip differential. But now it has a Downing Atlanta supercharger installed, a standalone ECU, along with a catch can, new coil packs, injectors, and a whole lot of other modifications to get all of this system to work. Naturally, when you install forced induction onto a normally naturally aspirated engine, the original 10:1 compression ratio can lead into some issues with knocking, because when you're pushing 13 psi of boost through this poor little 1.8, then suddenly those cylinders are getting a hang of a lot more than the normal 10:1 compression ratio. So not only has the owner had the engine fully rebuilt from the ground up, but also he's had the pistons shaved to drop the compression ratio down to 9.1 to 1. In many ways, it actually allows you to produce more boost. And the way he's done that is by fitting a smaller pulley to the supercharger, naturally spinning it over faster and producing more boost. It's now pushing 230 horsepower, or right around 170 kilowatt, and 300 Newton meters of torque. While not absolutely blistering numbers, all things considered, for a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder engine in a car that weighs just 1,080 kilograms, it's more than enough to push this thing along at a pretty hefty rate. And finally, the interior. The very interesting thing about this is that when I reviewed it last time, I felt like I was sitting in a car from the 1980s. The gauges are very old school, and it had the original radio screen, all of the old school slidey climate control knobs. It felt like an old car interior. But now a few things have changed. Rather than sticking gauges up on top of the dashboard like some cars I've reviewed recently, they're integrated into the air vents. You've got a screen here to show a whole lot of information about the car and how everything's running with the standalone ECU, along with USB ports in a car from the 1990s, 2 of which can charge phones and 2 of which can control the little screen there and the ECU, which is very handy to have. You don't need to get the big chunky OBD port out. And then a boost gauge where the little vent would be over here. The steering wheel is nice and small, and paired with the faster Z3 steering rack delivers a really fast front end change, which is excellent. This infotainment screen, even though it's only a little single DIN unit, it's still got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on it, which is cool. And the seats are fantastic. Still surprisingly comfortable, I must say. They're a little bit firm, but they're not too bad. It's actually a really nice interior where it's got just enough modern features to be able to monitor the engine and still be able to play your music inside, but fundamentally it still feels like a raw, engaging car from the 1990s. But now I suppose it's time to take it out and see how the supercharged 318is drives. Naturally, this is not a particularly refined experience, but what I love about it is just how tight everything feels. With this new Z3 steering rack, it is so fast to change direction on center. Gearbox, one of the best I've ever felt, just an immediate and perfect shift between every gear. Let's see what a supercharged E30 goes like. Oh yeah, it revs down the gears so quickly. And can I just say, that is a really nice amount of power. It's so fast to change direction in corners. LSD, so the back end is happy to come around, but it does it in a really predictable manner. Heel toe is perfect, although the brakes are very soft, so it requires quite a lot of travel to actually get your foot into the brakes, which then makes hitting the accelerator a little bit hard with the side of your foot. Oh yeah, once you figure it out though. Oh, this thing is masterful, man. Listen to that. And the power level is just perfect. I must admit, I was expecting it to be perhaps a little bit faster actually. It goes pretty good, but it's certainly not crazy. Where something like a supercharged or turbocharged Honda that I drove with, you know, similar size engine, 2-litre 4-cylinder, they were blisteringly quick, whereas this is, you know, not crazy. But I love supercharged power delivery. It's predictable, it does exactly what you expect, and it literally just feels like it's got like a massive 4-cylinder engine under the bonnet. This is probably one of the most fun cars I think I've ever driven, where it kind of has the boosted Honda feeling where it's super light, super nimble, really fast to go through all of the gears, but it's rear-wheel drive, so if you want to be a bit silly, you can. I've reviewed a lot of modified cars on this channel, and I've definitely come to learn over time that it's not necessarily all about just how fast it goes in a straight line. The whole sensation of the car is what makes it great. It's a perfect balance between something that's really raw and engaging to drive with super responsive engine, loud exhaust, responsive steering, it just changes direction so quickly, along with an amazing bolt action sniper rifle feeling gearbox, limited slip diff, so it'll do that, but it's just perfectly set up where, put in 5th gear, it's pretty quiet, it's not too uncomfortable, and you can genuinely just cruise this around and use it every single day as the owner does, but it still has that hint of, yeah, I'm driving something super special here. This thing is truly fantastic. This is a modified car that I would absolutely be happy to own. If you enjoyed this and you want to see how this car was when it was naturally aspirated, then click on the video popping up right about now, and I will look forward to seeing you again next time.